Welcome to The Wise Cut. If you're tired of the same old think positive and get rich advice, then you are in the right place. Today, we are tearing into one of the most brutally honest books ever written on making money, How to Get Rich by the late, great Felix. This isn't self-help fluff. This is a real-world, no-holds-barred tutorial on what it actually takes to build a massive fortune.
And we're kicking it off with a quote that just cuts right through the noise. Let that sink in for a second. It's not about the fancy office, the number of employees, or how fast you're growing. According to Dennis, that's all ego. The only thing that truly matters, the only thing that's real, is the profit hitting your bank account. Everything else is a distraction. This idea right here, it's the foundation for everything that follows.
All right, so here's our game plan for this breakdown. First, we're going to get into the essential mindset you need. Then we'll bust some common myths that are probably holding you back. After that, we'll get into the tough stuff, the reasons people stay poor. Then we'll tackle the biggest monster of all, the fear of failure. And finally, we'll destroy the one myth pretty much everyone believes in. So, let's dive in.
Okay, first step, the mindset of the rich. Think of this as the price of admission. Before you even get to the how-tos, you gotta understand the who. Like, what kind of person actually pulls this off? And Felix, well, he wasn't just some guy with theories, he actually did it.
So why should we listen to him? Well, how's this for a reason? That was his estimated net worth. He was so rich he couldn't even give an exact number. And get this, he started as a broke dropout. So when he talks, you know it's not just theory. The man walked the walk, and that's why his advice is so powerful.
And this is what Dennis says it takes. Look at this list. Unshakable self-belief, tunnel vision, a thick skin. He argues that these aren't personality traits you're born with. Not at all. This is a toolkit, and you have to forge every single one of these tools yourself. They're like muscles that you build through sheer, painful, relentless effort.
All right, on to section 2. Before you can learn the right way to do things, you have to unlearn all the wrong stuff you've been told. And man, Felix is absolutely ruthless when it comes to tearing down those comforting little myths that keep most of us stuck right where we are.
So here's myth number 1. The fairy tale that rich people just stumbled into their money while following their passion. You know, oops, I'm a millionaire now. Yeah, Dennis calls that total nonsense. He says for the vast majority of self-made people, getting rich was a deliberate, calculated, all-consuming mission. They didn't find wealth, they hunted it down.
And oh boy, here's the big one. The myth of the great idea. The one that stops so many people cold. We're taught that it all starts with a flash of genius, but Dennis completely flips that script. He says a simple idea that's perfectly executed is 1,000 times more valuable than a brilliant idea that's poorly executed. The idea is almost nothing. The execution is everything.
Finally, we have the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card, the go-to excuse. Oh, well, you couldn't do that today. Times have changed. People love saying the opportunities are all gone. But Dennis points out that while tech and trends change, human nature, ambition, greed, desire, that stuff never changes. The game is exactly the same, he says. Just the players and the tools are a little different.
Okay, deep breath for this next section, because this is where it gets personal. This is where Felix basically holds up a mirror and forces us to look at the real reasons we're not rich. And spoiler alert, it's usually not about the economy or bad luck. It's about us.
So, I want you to be really honest with yourself here for a minute. Dennis says most people who dream of being rich but never make it fall into one of 3 camps. They each have their own perfect excuse for why it won't work. Listen close. Does one of these sound a little too familiar?
First up, we have the young and penniless. Their excuse is, I have no money, no connections, no experience. But Dennis just turns that right on its head. He says, that's your greatest advantage. That's your superpower. When you have absolutely nothing to lose, you can take the kind of massive risks that would give a homeowner a heart attack. Your emptiness is your freedom.
Okay, next is the one on the way up. This is the person with a pretty good job, a decent salary, moving up the ladder, and that comfort, that's the trap. It's the golden handcuffs.
You've built a little hill for yourself, and the fear of falling off that hill becomes way, way bigger than your desire to go out and conquer a mountain. And finally, the senior manager. This person says, I can't possibly take a risk. I have a mortgage, kids, responsibilities. And this is where Dennis is at his most brutal. He says those aren't reasons, they are excuses. They are a convenient, socially acceptable alibi to hide the real problem. You're just plain scared.
And that leads us perfectly into the biggest beast of all, Section 4, Harnessing Fear of Failure. Dennis makes it crystal clear. If you cannot learn to face, understand, and control your fear, you have zero chance, period. It's the final boss, the ultimate gatekeeper to wealth.
I mean, look at how he puts it. He doesn't say it's an obstacle or a challenge. No, it's the King Kong of your nightmares. He's framing this as a giant, city-destroying monster living in your head. And it's the number one reason, he says, that more people aren't rich. It paralyzes us.
So how in the world do you fight King Kong? Dennis says you have to build mental armor, a protective shell. And here's how you do it. First, you have to become willing to fail. And not just fail, but fail spectacularly, in public where everyone can see. Second, you have to genuinely, truly stop caring what other people think of you. Third, and this is a tough one, you have to accept that your quest is going to stress out the people who love you. And finally, you have to learn to treat it all like a game. That emotional distance is absolutely crucial.
And for our final section, we're coming full circle. We're going back to that idea about ideas, but we're gonna hammer it home. If great ideas aren't what make you rich, then what is the secret weapon? What is the one thing that truly separates the dreamers from the doers?
There it is, as plain as day. Execution. It's the gritty, boring, relentless, difficult work of turning an idea, any idea, into actual profit. A person with a mediocre idea but world-class execution will beat a genius with a brilliant idea and sloppy execution every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Whoa. Now this quote is designed to shock you, but it perfectly illustrates the ruthless focus you need for that execution. When Dennis says team spirit is for losers, he means it from the perspective of the one trying to get rich. It's a tool, he says, that owners use to make employees feel good about building the owner's dream, not their own. To get rich, you can't be just a member of the team. You have to be the one building it for your own selfish reasons. So that's the essence of Felix Dennis's philosophy. It's not warm and fuzzy. It's a cold, hard look at what it takes. Sacrifice, a ridiculously thick skin, and a relentless, almost inhuman focus on profit and execution. So the final question isn't, do you want to be rich? Everyone wants that. The real question is, after hearing all this, are you actually willing to pay the price?
So what do you think? Is Dennis's take brutally honest or just plain brutal? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown useful, please do us a solid. Hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and of course, subscribe to The Wise Cut for more deep dives like this one. Thanks so much for watching.